So here I am back again in the workshop. It's been a couple of days. I've had a couple of days away from it because I have other things to do. This isn't my full-time job. This Laverda that's done 40,000 kilometers has got some clutch slip. The clutch is slipping. Now it could just be that the oil was old and it's just rubbish. I've ordered some new springs, so I'm going to change the springs, and from 3C Motor I've ordered some new disc plates. So I'm going to be taking this whole plethora of stuff off. I thought while I was at it I'll change the fluids. So I'll take out the old water and antifreeze mix that these things run on, and I'll put in some good organic coolant. So I'm going to get on with taking this off, taking this off, taking this off, and see what we've got underneath it. So there'll probably be, I don't know, 2 or 3 shorts that come off of this, which will be doing the clutch, finding out what's behind this and what we do with it, and sorting out checking the water pump and thermostats and stuff like that on this one. Because while I've got it all off, I may as well check everything that's on it. Okay, so I'm going to get on with ripping this apart, and I'll possibly get back to you in a few hours and see where we go from there. Okay then. Hello. I've just got to this this part of taking this casing off for the to get to the clutch on this Laverda. I've just taken off the PK rotor, which, as you can see, has got a slot in it cut for a wood rough key. My favourites, which is I put all in a plastic bag because there is somewhere in this plastic bag a little tiny teeny wood rough key. So there it is. You can't really see it. It's teeny tiny, and that's why I put it into a plastic bag so that I don't lose it, because they're easy to lose. Now the reason I've done this is I can come back to it, is because I wanted to just show you something. Now I'll show you in a minute how I got these off, but right now what I'd like to do is show you the mess that's been made by somebody trying to get this off, because you need a special tool to do it, apparently, according to Laverda, which is all well and good. And for the other one, I've ordered a micro 3-point puller. I've got small pullers, but they're not small enough for this. But I needed to get this off now so that I knew how to do the good bike. So I'll just flip the phone over, and then I'll show you what the problem is with the way that they've done this, and then I'll show you how I did it. Okay? Okay, well, look, we're back here again looking at this, and this is a big problem here. See this? I'm not actually sure this hasn't been cracked. If you look very, very closely at that, there seems to be a crack running where my fingernail is in a groove somewhere, and this has been used as a leverage point. And if you look at this, you can see I can put my thumbnail all the way into this dent here. That's abuse, really. That's just not thinking about how you're going to get this out and abusing it. Now, I've just taken it out, and yes, it did take me about an hour, but there's no point in damaging your engine because you're getting frustrated, and this really is just damage. I mean, that is cracked. I can get my thumbnail in a crack in that engine case in there, and that can work out very, very expensive. So I'll have to fix that later, but now I'll flip it back over and I'll show you how I got it out. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see this, and I'm hoping that I can work around this camera. So we want to get this off, and it's loose now, but I can tighten it up. Now, you're supposed to order a special puller from Laverda for that. But what I've got is these bits of rubber. I've got loads of this rubber, lots of this rubber kicking around that I use for stuff like this. So I just put a piece in there, like that, and then put a piece up there, like that. And then I've got these old C-spanners, which are pennies. You can see they're bent, which is pennies from Timu. Yeah. They're literally pennies from Temu. And this is all they're worth for, because they're not very good at C-spanners. I've got some good ones up there. But you just put that in the back of that and put that one through that tooth there and in the back of that. And then all you do is you put a little bit of pressure on one and then pull it with the other. Let it go. Bit of pressure on the bottom, pull it with the top. Bit of pressure on the bottom, pull it with the top. And so you keep going until that comes off. This way, you can get this off relatively easily. You don't damage your engine casings because you've got the rubber that you're pushing against. And okay, that was very, very simplified. This did take me an hour of wobbling and getting off like a millimetre at a time. But just a couple of bits of rubber, a couple of sacrificial C-spanners, which I'll throw away, or I'll keep until they break. But I won't use them for C-spanners anymore, but they'll go in the bin at a later time. And I'll get some more from Temu for like £2 or €2. And I'll use them for stuff like that. Think about what you're going to do. Don't just go in ham-fisted and start breaking your engine cover, because, I mean, luckily this doesn't have any oil in it. But if it did, then you could be in trouble by putting a crack in it like that. So just a short one, just to show you how I got this off. And I have now ordered a new puller, and we'll see whether that works when it arrives. Okay, cool. Well, so I've managed to get this off. It was a little bit of a fight, but it wasn't horrendous. And I think I've found the problems with my clutch slip on this here Laverda. And this is part of what we've got here, is broken friction plates. Well, that is basically solved another mystery. Luckily, my old friend Raphael at 3C Motors in Italy has whisked me a new set of clutch plates that are on their way. And so we'll have at least one bike running sometime in the near future. I'm going to put the new clutch plates into this one, which will be the red Laverda, because that's only got 4,000 kilometres on it. And if those clutch plates are any good, I'll put in this one, because this one's got 40,000 kilometres on it. I did think they would be worn down a lot more than they are, but they're not actually worn down that bad. I think this has been the result of years and years of these bikes, because these bikes were just sat in somebody's man cave as display pieces. So I think this is years and years of inactivity, followed by a couple of weeks of very intense activity when I got my hands on them. So better it blew when I was riding it rather than after I'd sold it. So another little job to cross off, and when it's all back together, I'll let you know. Tut, tut, tut. Good morning. Welcome back to the speed shop. It's been a few days, which you won't know, obviously, because it will be a link in the video. Yeah, but it's been a few days since our last conversation, because I've been waiting for the pressure plates to come through for the clutch, and they're here now. So I'm just giving them a soak in oil, which is important. You want to do that with your clutch plates. You want to soak them in oil because you want to get a good grip on them, and that helps do that. If you put the clutch plates in directly, well, you've got a good chance you're just going to rip the friction plates off. So soak them in oil for a couple of days. It's going to be a couple of days because I haven't got the new springs yet, so they're still in the post somewhere. So hopefully they'll be coming soon. They're only coming from Germany, so they shouldn't be that bad. I'm in France, but it's taken a while, which is always the frustrating thing when you're building bikes and you find something like broken clutch plates. Then you realise you've got to get new clutch plates. Then I did some research and realised that the springs on the Laverdas are another weak point. So I've ordered some new springs. Now these are springs off of a Kawasaki 750, and these are the springs off a Laverda 750, and you can see the difference in size there, in height. I have had the notion that I might try and use these, which I will do. I'll put them all together after the weekend, because I've got a bit of a busy weekend this weekend. So I'll put them all together after the weekend and try it with the longer springs and see whether that works. If it does, I'll use the longer springs in the older engine and the new springs that I've ordered, which are racing springs in this engine. And it's just to give it that extra bit of grip, to give it something to grip onto. So I thought I'd do this quick post just to remind you to put your clutch plates in oil and to get on with stuff like that. And this weekend, like I say, I'm going to be doing the garden because, hey, spring's on its way. So I'll be able to go out on the bike soon and come back and enjoy a nice glass of wine up on the sun terrace down here in southwest France. So I'll be getting in touch with you in a couple of days once this is done. I'll post this lot as part one of the video, and then I'll post part two as putting it all back together. And in the meantime, over the course of tomorrow or the weekend, I'll just experiment with these clutch plates and the longer springs and see whether it works. And if it does, then all good. We'll redo it again on Monday, Tuesday next week. Okay, so I shall see you very soon.